It's curious, isn't it? The San Francisco 49ers, with nearly $70 million in cap space, the most in the NFL, haven't yet secured the services of Joey Bosa, a free agent and the brother of our very own Nick Bosa. This signing should be a straightforward move, yet here we are, questioning the delay. Fans, where are you watching from? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation. The 49ers are in a precarious position, particularly when it comes to their defensive line. Mykel Williams is recovering from a torn ACL and hasn't even been cleared to run yet. There's a real possibility he might miss significant time at the start of the season, and even upon his return, he might not be himself for a while. Placing our trust in a recovering player who may not be game-ready is a risk the 49ers simply cannot afford to take. As it stands, the starting defensive end opposite Nick Bosa for the season opener against the Rams is looking like Sam Okweanonu. Let's be honest, he's a backup, and while he might have some skills, he's not exactly a game-changer. Good offenses will easily expose him, leading to early season struggles that could cost us crucial games. Why throw away wins when a quality veteran like Joey Bosa could be added to the roster? Now, it's worth noting that Bosa will turn 31 in July and has already racked up over $150 million in his career. He doesn't need to participate in OTAs or mandatory minicamps. He's spending his offseason training with Nick in Florida. So, why is he still on the market? It seems likely that he will remain a free agent until after minicamp ends in mid-July, at which point the 49ers' young defensive linemen like rookie Romello Height will have had ample time to showcase their abilities. The last thing the 49ers want is Joey Bosa taking valuable reps away from Height and other young talents when they should be honing their skills. Bosa's focus now is on maintaining his performance level rather than improving. The reality is that he's no longer the rising star he once was. He's in a phase of his career where he's trying to hold on to what he has achieved, not necessarily expand upon it. Expect the 49ers to extend a one-year deal to Bosa in July, but let's be realistic here. If he finds a better offer elsewhere, it's likely he'll take it. He's not inclined to offer the 49ers any sort of discount. Nevertheless, he played for $13 million last season, so it's reasonable to think he'll be looking at a reduced salary this time around, and the 49ers can certainly accommodate that. Now, as we move on to the next topic, let's keep our eyes peeled for how this situation unfolds. The implications of this decision could shape our defensive strategy for the upcoming season. On the surface, analysts are throwing out wild projections for the San Francisco 49ers this upcoming season, with some forecasting playoff appearances while others, like Mo Morton, are suggesting a disappointing 9-8 record that keeps the Niners on the outside looking in. But what's critical to dissect here is the reasoning behind these predictions, particularly the glaring oversights regarding the team's strengths and changes. Morton acknowledges that if the core players, Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams, George Kittle, and Mike Evans, stay healthy, the 49ers will be in the mix for a scoring battle against any opponent. However, let's not kid ourselves. The 49ers have not just managed to stay competitive when healthy, they have dominated. The narrative of merely hanging with top-tier teams does a severe disservice to how this franchise has performed in recent years. The assumption that Mike Evans will automatically regress and prove less effective than Jawan Jennings speaks volumes about a lack of understanding of the dynamics at play. Not only does this assessment overlook Evans' proven track record as a game-changer, but it also fails to consider the significant upgrades on the defensive side of the ball. Last season, during the first half when Fred Warner and Mykel Williams were performing at their peak, the 49ers' defense allowed a mere 18.3 points per game, a statistic that would position them as one of the league's best. Yet, the same defense in the second half saw a dip to 22.9 points allowed per game, still better than some playoff contenders. The return of key players like Nick Bosa, Warner, and Williams, coupled with the strategic addition of defensive tackle Osa Odigizua, signifies that this defense is not just back, it's potentially better than before. Adding linebacker Dre Greenlaw into the mix reinforces the argument that this team boasts one of the most formidable linebacker duos in the league. Moreover, let's not forget about the promising talent in Upton Stout and Alfred Collins, whose developmental arcs suggest improvements that could bolster this defensive unit. New draftees like Grayson Halton, who fits perfectly into the 49ers' defensive scheme, and Romello Height, who racked up 10 sacks in college, provide depth and explosiveness that are sure to elevate San Francisco's defensive prowess this season. Switching gears to the offensive side, even if Brock Purdy faces setbacks, the Niners are not left in the lurch. Mac Jones proved his mettle last season, leading to a projected win total that could still see the 49ers in a playoff position. The narrative around Brandon Ayuk's absence last year also deserves scrutiny. The 49ers managed to function without him before and are not so much replacing him with Evans as they are adding a seasoned playmaker to an already potent defensive arsenal. This past season, even without a fully healthy Kittle and the absence of Evans, the Niners averaged 25.7 points per game, ranking them above several playoff teams. This showcases the depth of talent available and the coaching acumen that drives this offense forward. While Morton notes the loss of defensive coordinator Robert Saleh and the hiring of Raheem Morris, it's important to recognize Morris' pedigree. His defensive unit in Atlanta outperformed several well-regarded defenses last season, proving that he can step into this role and maintain effectiveness. Predictions should be grounded in potential. A full-strength roster should be the baseline for analysis. If we were to entertain worst-case scenarios, we could easily argue the same for other teams. What if Patrick Mahomes were to go down? The ripple effects on the Kansas City Chiefs would be monumental. The same logic applies across the league, and it's unreasonable to project worst-case outcomes without considering what a healthy 49ers squad can do. In recent years, we've seen the 49ers not just compete, but dominate top-tier teams. For fans, the hope for 2026 is palpable, and the roster changes give every reason to believe that the 49ers will not just hang with their opponents, but will once again assert their dominance in the league. As we transition to our next segment, it's clear that the narrative surrounding the 49ers should be one of optimism, tempered with the understanding of the challenges ahead. What do you think about these projections? Where are you watching from, and what are your thoughts on the 49ers' chances this season?
As we dive deeper into the San Francisco 49ers offseason, the narrative surrounding their Super Bowl aspirations faces a critical moment. The 49ers have made some bold moves to bolster their roster, yet their recent drop to 8th place in the ESPN Power Rankings raises eyebrows. Just a short while ago, they were riding high at 6th, and now they've slipped behind not only the Green Bay Packers, but also the Philadelphia Eagles and Buffalo Bills. Where are you tuning in from today, and what are your thoughts on the 49ers offseason? Let us know in the comments below. This drop in rankings has raised some serious questions about the effectiveness of the 49ers' strategic decisions this offseason. While they managed to surpass the Detroit Lions, the leap made by the Packers stands out. Analysts attribute this shift to a perceived improvement in Green Bay's cornerback situation, particularly after they made the contentious decision to let Nate Hobbs go in favor of rookie Brandon Cisse. But let's be clear, Cisse is still untested at the NFL level. The idea that a rookie can instantly elevate a team's defensive capabilities is a gamble, and it's one that Green Bay might come to regret. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Eagles are generating buzz with their roster, but reports indicate they could be on the brink of trading A.J. Brown. Should that trade materialize, the 49ers have a legitimate chance to reclaim their position ahead of the Eagles. The Buffalo Bills, on the other hand, have had a solid offseason and remain a formidable force in the AFC, bolstered by their star quarterback, Josh Allen. However, the silver lining for San Francisco fans is that they don't have to contend with the Bills in their own conference. The 49ers now find themselves sitting 5th in the NFC, trailing not only the Eagles and Packers, but also their own divisional rivals. Now, let's focus on the 49ers' attempts to strengthen their wide receiver core. The additions of Mike Evans, Dezon Stribling, and Christian Kirk have been met with mixed reviews. If Ricky Pearsall can return to full health, it could significantly enhance their depth at the position, but that's still an if. The skepticism surrounding this revamped receiving unit stems from the performance history of the newcomers. Kirk's struggles with a lackluster Houston receiving core and Evans' injury-riddled past raise questions about their reliability. Evans' age and the potential reach of Stribling in the draft have also added to the uncertainty. The crux of the matter is this. While the 49ers' wide receiver room may look different on paper, the real test lies in how these pieces come together on the field. The potential is there if Evans can stay healthy, if Pearsall returns to form, and if Stribling defies expectations, then perhaps the 49ers deserve to be ranked higher than 8th. However, until this group demonstrates that they can produce consistently, the skepticism from analysts is both valid and warranted. As the offseason progresses and training camps heat up, the 49ers have the opportunity to silence their critics. The pressure is on for the new additions to prove their worth and for the coaching staff to optimize their talents. Fans are eager to see how these dynamics play out and whether the team can reclaim their status as a top contender in the NFC. It's a pivotal moment for the franchise, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Now, as we wrap up our analysis, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the 49ers' offseason moves? Are you optimistic about the upcoming season? Don't forget to subscribe for the latest news and share your opinions in the comments below. This is a make-or-break year for the 49ers, and your voice matters. Let's rally together as we look forward to what promises to be an exciting season ahead.